For years, I believed the only way to become a better runner was to run more. Every training plan I followed, every article I read, seemed to reinforce the idea that more miles equaled more progress. I'd lace up, hit the pavement, and push myself to go farther and faster, convinced that was the secret to improvement. Strength training? I ignored it, worried it would make me bulky and slow. I stuck to what I knew, running and only running. But this mindset left me in a constant cycle, a few weeks of progress, then another injury, IT band syndrome, runner's knee, plantar fasciitis. The list kept growing. Among my running friends, we all just accepted it as normal. Injuries were almost a rite of passage. Looking back, I realized I was building a bigger engine without reinforcing the frame. My body couldn't keep up with my ambition. Every increase in mileage felt like a gamble with my body's limits, and I was always one step away from another setback. The irony? I avoided strength work out of fear it would hurt my running, but that avoidance was actually holding me back. We see elite runners logging huge miles and assume that's all it takes, missing the hours they spend building strength in the gym. Great running isn't just about running more, it's about building a body that can handle the work. I was stuck in the more is better trap, even as my body begged for something different. Injuries weren't a badge of honor. They were a sign my approach was broken. It took me far too long to realize that running alone wasn't enough. But that realization changed everything. My running log was a record of injuries as much as workouts. Every page was filled with notes about pain, setbacks, and missed goals. IT band pain, tight hamstrings, aching hips, and a sore lower back were constant companions. It felt like every part of my body was protesting. I tried every quick fix, stretching, foam rolling, rest, ice packs, even new shoes. But the pain always returned as soon as I ramped up my mileage. My form would break down late in races, my stride turning into a shuffle, leaking energy with every step. I could feel my body falling apart when it mattered most. I was always modifying workouts or taking unplanned rest days, never able to follow a plan consistently. Frustration built up as I watched others progress. My race times stagnated, not because I wasn't fit, but because my body couldn't handle the training. No matter how hard I tried, I hit the same wall. The mental toll was just as bad. I dreaded every run, scanning for pain, afraid to push myself. The anxiety was constant. Running lost its joy and became a constant battle with my own body. I felt isolated, defeated, and unsure of what to do next. I felt fragile, unreliable, and stuck in a cycle I couldn't break. Every attempt to improve seemed to end in disappointment. Every step forward was followed by 2 steps back. Progress felt impossible. I knew something had to change. This wasn't sustainable, and I was finally ready to try a new approach. The turning point came after yet another race ruined by injury. I remember sitting on the curb, feeling completely defeated, my leg throbbing and my energy drained. My IT band flared up, my calf cramped, and I limped to the finish, barely able to walk. It felt like my body was betraying me, no matter how much I trained. A fellow runner noticed and asked, "How much do you lift?" I admitted, a bit embarrassed, that I didn't lift at all. He just smiled and said strength training had solved his injuries. He encouraged me to give it a try, promising it would change everything. That conversation stuck with me. It was a wake-up call I couldn't ignore. I started researching strength training for runners and found a common theme. Running alone doesn't build the strength needed to stay healthy. Article after article pointed to the same thing. Weak hips, glutes, and core were the real culprits behind my injuries. I realized I'd been ignoring the foundation my running depended on. My problem wasn't too much running, it was not enough strength to support it. I was frustrated, but also motivated to make a change. I wanted to reclaim the joy of running, to feel resilient and powerful, not fragile. I missed the days when running felt effortless. So I committed to a simple strength routine for 3 months, determined to finally address the root cause of my setbacks. If it didn't work, I could always go back. But deep down, I knew this was the missing piece I'd been searching for. I was ready to stop treating symptoms and start building a body that could handle my goals. I wanted to be proactive, not reactive. It was time to try something new, to step out of my comfort zone and into the weight room. I had nothing to lose, except my injuries. So I started lifting, hoping this would finally be the change I needed. I kept my routine simple and runner-focused, just twice a week. Consistency was key, and I made sure every session counted. The goal wasn't big muscles, but functional strength and stability, especially in my legs, hips, and core. I wanted to move better, not just look stronger. I started with bodyweight squats, then added goblet squats as I got stronger. These built a solid foundation for power and endurance. Deadlifts became a staple, building my hamstrings, glutes, and lower back. They taught me how to generate force from the ground up. Lunges and single-leg deadlifts exposed and fixed imbalances, mimicking the demands of running. Each rep made me more resilient. Step-ups, clamshells, and lateral band walks targeted my hip stabilizers, crucial for injury prevention and smoother strides. Core work was non-negotiable. Planks, side planks, bird dogs, and dead bugs taught me to stabilize my spine and pelvis, even when tired. No endless crunches, just movements that made me a better runner, both on the road and in the gym. The whole routine took less than an hour, twice a week. It fit perfectly into my training schedule. It was simple, sustainable, and exactly what my body needed to stay healthy and strong. This was the foundation for real change, and it set me up for every running breakthrough that followed. The first changes weren't in my race times, but in how running felt. Within weeks, my legs felt springier, my easy pace felt easier, and I finished runs with more energy. Hills, once my nemesis, became opportunities to power up instead of grind through. My form held up late in runs, no more slumping or shuffling. Core strength kept my posture upright and my breathing free. Single leg work improved my balance and reduced the hip drop that led to IT band pain. My stride felt smoother, more efficient, and more controlled. Recovery improved, letting me train harder and more consistently. I hit my workout paces without feeling wrecked afterward. The quality of my training soared, not because I ran more, but because I ran better. Strength training became a tailwind, making every mile more productive. The improvements fed on themselves, creating a powerful cycle of progress. I was finally running the way I'd always wanted. The most dramatic change? My injuries disappeared. The IT band pain that haunted me for years was gone. No more waiting for it to flare up mid-run. Strengthening my hips and glutes fixed the root cause, not just the symptoms. Hamstring tightness eased, and my lower back stopped aching after long runs. My body could finally handle the impact and repetition of running. I trained consistently for months. No more unplanned rest days or frantic searches for therapists. Consistency became my secret weapon, unlocking real, sustainable improvement. The fear and anxiety faded, replaced by confidence in my body. I could push myself again, knowing I was strong enough to handle it. Strength training didn't just fix my body, it gave me back my love for running. If you're stuck in a cycle of injuries and plateaus, you're not alone, and you're not doomed to stay there. The answer isn't more miles or more rest, it's getting stronger. Strength training isn't optional for runners, it's essential. Just 2 sessions a week can make you more powerful, efficient, and injury-resistant. You don't need fancy equipment. Start with bodyweight squats, lunges, planks, and glute bridges at home. Focus on good form and consistency, not lifting heavy. Think of it as building armor for your running. Strength training supports your running, helping you run farther, faster, and with fewer setbacks. Don't wait for a breaking point. Start now. Invest 20 to 30 minutes, twice a week. The payoff is huge. You'll rediscover the joy of running, and your best miles are still ahead. Your strongest, happiest running starts in the weight room.